Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this, a brand new day. My computer is really, really loud. I'm sure you can hear it, and I'm quite positive it's going to start going ticka, 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 ticka at some point during the recording. You'll get to hear what I have to live with. I'm going to, later on this afternoon, close it down, open it up, take my air compressor, because I actually have an air compressor with like a 3-gallon capacity, so it blows air for like 30 seconds, then you have to wait for a minute while it charges, blows air for 30 seconds, wait for a minute while it charges, and it's loud, 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 but it's really, really good, and I'm going to blow the dust out of this thing again. Now the thing is, I have a program that checks the heat on the various components. The main thing I check for is the heat on the CPU. Before, when it was really, really bad, the thermal margin on the thing would say it was like anywhere from 19 to 6 degrees Celsius from its maximum. Blew the air out, and then it came up good. Right now, I've got the monitor up, and I've got a thermal margin of 50 degrees Celsius. You gotta do the things that make you happy and clap, clap, clap the alien cheeks. So it's a long ways, and it's super, super loud. It might start going ticka, ticka, ticka. If it does, my apologies. Like I say, I'm gonna crack it open and blow the dust out. That may work. It hasn't really in the past, but maybe it does. I don't know. Anyway, though, thumbs up and welcome to the day. I went walkies last night, 6-mile round trip from southern Shelton through downtown Shelton up into northern Shelton, and then turned around and walked back. And it was cold and damp, and it was good. I enjoyed the trip. While I was on the trip, of course, that's when I came up with that stupid song and that stupid video, I Am Not a Pickle, because it just came into my head, which things like that do. And as I was walking, just the tune and then the words, and then it came together, and then I couldn't get it out of my head for the rest of the trip. So thumbs up for that. So I had to share it with everybody else so that you too could enjoy the painting. Oh, excuse me. And of course, I still get comments because I understand, and nobody's that asks the questions in the comments is going to watch this. But still, the reason I talk with my hands, I have my hands in the air, is because, yeah, I talk with my hands. This is what I do. I gesture, I talk. It's like, I must be pure blood Italian, but no, I just talk with my hands. And one of the main reasons that I do weird things, the weird shapes and motions and L's and all that, is because I have mentioned how I severed my radial nerve a couple years back and my hand was paralyzed. The sensory nerves were in the range of normal after that. But the range of normal is a pretty big range, and I could not feel much out of here. This felt terrible, but I couldn't feel much up here. And I couldn't do a thing with it except bring in my fingers and thumb a little bit, and that was it. And then I had to wait for gravity and muscle tension to pull it back out. So now that my hand works again, it feels good and nice to be able to like hyper extend so that they go back, just to make shapes, to do things with my hands. It feels nice because I can do it. And so I couple that with talking with my hands, and it's like, yeah. And then since I do things on one side and I like symmetry, I mirror with both sides. Thumbs up. But yeah, went to walking, and I was thinking on my cosmic horror pantheon stuff. Ooh, itchy, itchy, itchy right here. My sincere apologies. Ay, 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 itchy, itchy. There we go. One of the things that I like and don't like is the way I've got, well, trying to, okay, let me start over. For some weird reason, I've been working not just with the cosmic horror pantheon in a cosmic horror fashion, but for whatever weird reason, I've also got the humanizing side stories of like the young adult and children's cosmic horror stuff, where I treat the characters, the cosmic horror pantheon beings, as just actual beings. And while that's not what's really happening, since everything is metaphor, all of the children's story type horror stuff is also canon, because it's all metaphor for something. Even if you tell a story, you're using it to talk about something else. Everything is metaphor. And so it's fun to work with all this crazy stuff. But as nice as it is to go, oh yes, on the map of the multiverse, and these beings are here in the infinite city, and then there's the closer worlds, and the mid-realms, and the far lands. It's like, nobody in that cosmic pantheon would refer to anything like that, or even think like that. We can't even relate to how they think. So, it's nice to make that stuff for the young adult and children stuff. But I had to think about what it would be on their terms. Because before, I've mentioned before how when they want to work from their power level and reality level down to smaller things, they have to come up with another being who births a whole bunch of others, and then from there they work. Before I was trying to come up with human terms on it, but no, afterward it was like, it would be the Ong, and the Ong that is birthed comes in and makes a brooding chamber of its own inside of whatever there is, and then births these 12 children of its own, and then they work from there. And I was like, oh, now I've got it. Can you hear that thing? At least it's not going ticka 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 yet, but it's, yeah, I gotta blow the dust out of it. Hokey smokes. And yet, my thermal margin is 52. And so I was thinking about that while I was walking, and it's like, okay, this is better from their point of view. I've mentioned there is the infinite abandoned city. And it's like, what would the name of this thing be? Well, we don't know what the original people that created it called it. So all we've got is the cosmic horror pantheon stuff. So I had come up with the city, that is the Unga. And then of course you've got the closer worlds, that's the Ungara. And then you move further out, the Ungare. And then out where we are, the Ungadin. And then further out beyond that is the void, Ungada. So thumbs up for that. And then of course the actual beings themselves, the Angakiru. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, that thing is going to take off and just go off into the stratosphere at any moment. I've already spent 20 minutes turning it on and turning it off. I got to turn my fan on at least a little bit here. I am so sorry, to see if a little bit of flowing air will help, even though I'm anywhere from 48 to 58 on my thermal margin, so. But at least I've got those names from their point of view. Their point of view. And of course, since they are the Angakiru, the 12 children of Amaterasu, that name is not a name, that is a title. Even though in the humanizing smaller stories, that's Mama Amaterasu. But Amaterasu is a title. Because after all, the beings that had created and inhabited this infinite city, which is literally an infinite city, skyscrapers that go upward forever, subterranean tunnels that go downward forever. The city goes out each of the cardinal directions forever. An infinitely large city. Peopled fully. So an infinite number of citizens. And these beings that created a city that is infinitely large, filled with an infinite number of beings, detected Amaterasu coming before she arrived. And they did a cost analysis benefit thing of what happens if we fight? What happens if we evacuate an infinitely large city filled with an infinite number of beings? And they weighed those two of them. And they went, well, tell everyone to pack their bags. We are leaving. Now, what would be the logistics of getting an infinite number of people in an infinitely large space to evacuate? And yet that's what they did, because it was cheaper and easier and would save more lives to somehow get an infinite number of citizens to pack up and leave than it would be to fight Amaterasu. So that's why she's in an abandoned city. On the humanizing point of view stories, that's just she's found in an infinite abandoned city. And she was pregnant, needed a place to live. You can't just wander. But yeah, infinite and abandoned because easier than fighting her. So, thumbs up for that. Like I said, I spend a lot of time getting this stuff in my head for I talked before about how there's some writers that everything has to be written down. And there's other writers that go into just with what's going to happen today. I try to be somewhere in the middle, but that's only for the actual story itself. For the background and the world building, I usually come up with about this much mental stuff printed out on fine paper in very, very tiny fonts. And that's all the background stuff to make the world work. That's what I spend most of my time on. And then when it's time for the actual story, I've got here's where we start, over there's the finish line, let's figure out what the map is between here and there. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba. And then I go out and explore and find out what happens within the framework of that big thing. So thumbs up. Hey, we all have our joys. And whether I monetize my joy or not is fine. Even though we live in a capitalist society and we have to perform in a capitalist fashion, always remember you do not have to monetize your joy. As someone in a different post put it, sing out of key, draw poorly, make bad videos, write bad poetry, do whatever you want to do. You do not have to monetize your joy. Thumbs up for that. And I'll keep doing my writing, even if it's up just here in my head, even if I never get it printed, even if I never get paid for it. Beyond just talking about it in videos. So a definite thumbs up on that. I've got all of my hamsters. They're all sleeping. The only ones that were even slightly active this morning when I came in was little Dust Mop over there, was sort of moving inside of his nest on the other side of his home here. And when I made noise, he poked his head up a little bit, but then he just went right back into digging around and then fell asleep. Gojira was running around for a while, but then, like I said, I spent like 20 minutes turning my computer on and off, putting it on its side and stuff, and then finally it's quiet enough to record, but well, I got the fan and you can probably still hear the computer. But she settled down and she's sleeping in one of her many, many nests inside of her home down there. Since every day she just settles down in a new spot. I had spent a lot of time excuse me. I had mentioned spent a lot of time putting cardboard on this one corner to block off light and sound. So, not light and sound, light and movement, so that she could sleep better. And she stayed there for like 2 days and then was everywhere else again. So, thumbs up for that. Hamsters are gonna hamster. You can only do as much as you can to make them happy. Hamsters are going to hamster. They're going to do what they're going to do. Just try your best to please them as best you can. That's all you can do. Now, I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab, and I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people for having left me a comment. I'm not reading the comments right now. I'm just thanking you for having left a comment. If I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended. I'm an American English speaker. We're just not good at that sort of thing. And it's a range of 20 to 25 because even though I count in American Sign Language on the fingers of this hand with my depression, fibromyalgia, brain damage from my depression, and more, I got adult ADHD plus septicemia syndrome because I've gone septic like 4 times and that affects your brain. Anyway, though, let me call my Chrome. We have Dokugan Ryu 15, thumbs up and thank you. Nino Brown, greatly appreciated. And then we have Russian Timing, thumbs up and thank you. Silver Platinum, greatly appreciated. Brutish Wing 2.0, definitely clap those alien cheeks. Then we have Melania Grunte, and I'm nowhere close, but thank you very, very much. Dragon Spheres, thumbs up and thank you. We have John Tiderman, greatly appreciated. Wanfen333, thumbs up and thank you. Nora Eld, greatly appreciated. We have Zap Rousdower, I sure hope I'm close, thank you very, very much. Sean Butts, thumbs up and thank you. Farhan Kamil, greatly appreciated. Shivanji Pandey, thank you very, very much. We have Azrael 13666 DZ, thumbs up and thank you. DK, greatly appreciated. Elevidence. Ooh, that's a hard one to say. Thank you very, very much. And Ice Damon, thumbs up and thank you. Confused Owl 29, greatly appreciated. Then we have RIP Juice World, thumbs up and thank you. Protector Drone, greatly appreciated. And then we have Big T, greatly appreciated, and thumbs up and oh, itchy forehead. And then we have Kieran Metallica fan, thumbs up and thank you. Julian MV03, I probably got mixed up, but greatly appreciated. At least I'm close, I hope. And Mulinaster, thank you very, very much. Greatly, greatly appreciated. Definitely a thumbs up. I'm going to try and minimize more of my programs that I have up on screen there. I just want them for some backlighting, not like spotlight lighting. I don't have real lighting because I'm just a guy who's trying not to go homeless. Thumbs up. Anyway, though, if you could check out my various links, I have Twitter, Facebook, GoFundMe, Patreon.com, NearlySeniorCitizen.com. I haven't said that one in a while. I'd imagine it's still there, though I've never done anything with it. If you could donate to my GoFundMe campaign or become a Patreon.com patron like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be beautiful and awesome. If you would like to help support me, but you don't want to donate any money to one of those two things, I have a PayPal link down below that you could send something to. That would be awesome. If you wanted to support me without sending me any money, I'll also have an Amazon wish list down below with things like hamster food, cat food, hamster toys, silly things, not silly things. If you could check it out, that would be very cool. Now, don't feel obligated. I don't feel entitled. And if you do not donate, or you simply cannot donate, I take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart, where I draw interest, so thank you very much. If you could toss me a like, I do appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence. Definitely a thumbs up. And of course, if you could subscribe to the channel and hit that bell, that would be very cool, greatly appreciated. I would understand if you did not wish to, but if you are down with it, I will do my very best to keep you entertained from now until the literal end of time. Well, I've got this video that you've been watching, hopefully, because if you have it on and playing and you're staring at the screen, but you're not actually watching, you may have a problem. You may actually be dead. That would be bad. But otherwise, definitely a thumbs up. I got a video to edit and render, hopefully something to record, edit, and render after I blow the dust out of this thing. Definitely a thumbs up. So, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, my friend, and that is a very good thing. A definite thumbs up. And remember, just take care of yourself. Do the things that you want to do. Don't worry about monetizing your joy. I mean that. Do things that make you happy.